Hello, everyone. Hello, welcome, welcome. This week I have a very special guest. I have Jake Villaret, and Jake is being interviewed with me or by me for the third time. So, the only other person I have interviewed three times is, can you guess, Jake?
I'm gonna go with Pace.
No. Pace is only twice. Abraham.
Abraham. That was my second guess. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you and Abraham are in the same league there. So that's
Well,
very, very, very special.
I'm honored. I'm honored.
I am triple honored.
Thank you.
Anyhow, so I want to say thank you. For those of you who are meeting Jake for the first time, you're in for a super treat. A lot of you probably already have seen him because he is a core part of our community. And as I said, I love the kitty. Sorry. I'm sorry. As I said, this is my third interview with him. So we go back a ways. The first time I interviewed you, Jake, you were surrounded with these gorgeous ladies, Morgan and Sonia and Jacqueline, and can't remember the rest, but you were in a little group you had already formed. Um, that one was for co-living, correct?
That was for credit sponsorship. But we were doing co-living also.
Okay. Okay. I had it in my head that it was some of your first ventures into co-living. Okay. Jake and I first met through a lending community through Gator. And Jake was chosen as a spokesperson to hold a number of Zooms, as I had in the ancient times before Jake joined. He is great at that. Is a wonderful leader, and he taught a lot of us how to do things right. So that was where I first met him. And then, of course, he started into business for himself. But before we get into Gator, I'd like to go back. Jake, where were you before you joined Pace Morby's groups and lending and real estate and that sort of thing? Talk to us about the beginnings of Jake's life.
So before I like okay, so I went to college for a little bit, but I had no clue what I wanted to do, so I wasn't taking it very seriously, which led me to the Navy, which led me to working at a pharmaceutical plant for 5 years. But
What
the
were you
money
doing at the pharmaceutical plant?
I was they call it control room operator. I'm
Okay.
basically just remotely monitoring and controlling equipment from an operating room, essentially. Paid great, hours sucked, work life balance sucked. And so started looking for what the next thing was going to be, which led me to finding Pace on YouTube, which led me to joining Sub 2 and Gator. And, the rest is history.
The rest is our history.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Well, you certainly came into Gator with a bang, and you contributed a lot to our community, to that particular community. So that was really, really cool. And then you started doing lending for yourself. When you were with the ladies, you were doing both sponsoring and co-living.
Yeah. So I started that the credit sponsorship business, and that was going very, very well, almost too well. I actually think it ended up being a bad thing that I had so much success so quickly with that. But once that was rocking and rolling, we started, that was around the time where co-living was getting really popular. And so we delved into that. And then, I've already sort of told you a little bit of the story, Effie, but then
Okay.
disaster strikes and
Let's wait for that for 1 minute.
yeah,
I would like, in case, because I am getting more and more people joining my podcast that aren't
of
really
course you
about
are.
real estate. So I'd like to talk about what credit sponsorship is and what co-living is. So I'm going to try with the credit sponsorship. I've never done it. I know Pace, when he first met me, he said, you need to be a sponsor and you need to have assets. I have not sponsored. But credit sponsorship, if I'm correct, is for people who need help in getting their purchases across the line because of their own weaker credit. So they pair up with somebody who sponsors them by letting them use their credit.
Essentially, yeah. So DSCR lenders, hard money, there's three boxes that they need to check. Credit, obviously, being one of them,
Right?
liquidity and experience. And so when I first got into real estate, I had some liquidity, some money saved up from work and great credit. but no real estate experience. And so, as you know, there's so many investors out there. They're great at finding deals, at doing flips, at whatever it is that they do. Uh, But for whatever reason, their credit's just not where it needs to be. And so I just started filling that niche for them. I was basically credit sponsorship is like co-signing. That's a good broad generalization of what it is.
Okay, so it's like co-signing, and how do you monetize it? Because your credit is good, and you've got a solid credit, and you're co-signing, but you should be getting something for it. How does that become monetized?
Right. So that's something that evolved for me over time. The first credit sponsor deal I ever did had a $5,000 upfront fee and then a couple $100 a month until the loan was refinanced or sold. And I was like, man, that's amazing. And by the time what it evolved into was 50-50 partnerships on some really big projects, on some higher dollar properties, on things like that. So
So that's interesting. So from the strength of your own credit, you could come into a deal and act as a cosigner and get 50% of the asset.
yes,
What
you
kind of
can actually
assets were they? Single family, multi, what?
started off as single family because that's really all I had, like the liquidity to support.
Hmm.
Ended up doing all sorts of things, ground up development.
Really
Yeah,
good.
obviously the co-living side, we did some of that. Small multifamily, refinance it. I mean, if you can get a DSCR loan or a hard money for something, we probably did a deal around
And when you say we,
the creative credit partner team.
nice, nice. Okay, actually, that was bigger than wider in scope than I realized. Well, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
And then the returns you guys would split.
Right. Yeah. So, but there were so many, like I had done, I don't even know how many sponsorships by the time I actually built the creative credit partner team. And then I continued to do others on the side for the ones that the team passed on.
Okay,
So, yeah.
so that was credit sponsorship and co-living. I had Jake on a series of 13 Zooms I did on co-living. Is and I do co-living myself. So it's basically when you purchase a home and you house hack it so that you're basically renting by the room and using common spaces for that purpose as well. So you guys got into co-living because I remember you had reached out to me about possibly financing one. I can't. It was on the East Coast somewhere.
Yeah.
So talk to us about the co-living model. Like, what did you guys?
Yeah. For most of them, and some of them were even loan sponsorships. Some of them were just, sub two purchases that we converted and things like that. But I think at the high point, there was 13 or 14 active pad splits that we had.
Really?
Yeah. And that was great for a while. And then, Effie, you're in co-living, so some of the surprises and things that could pop up in those scenarios. And so ended up deciding like, hey, not trying to continue down this road.
Were you doing the management?
Yeah, yeah, no more co-living for me. No more.
I understand. I understand. But when I went into it, I really, well, first off, I'm still very new. I have one property that took me forever to get going, but I had no intentions of managing it, and I don't. And I have an offer that's been accepted on the second one. And again, I will not be managing it. So it sounds easy. I won't be managing it, but you still do have the headaches. When the manager called and said, one of our guys, accosted our cleaner and we have to call the police. I was like, let me at him. I was so mad.
But yeah,
So even though it's in a different state and she handled most of it, it still affects you. So yes, I understand there's a lot of things that can be very challenging with co-living,
hmm,
but there's kind of a need for it because there's such a shortage of housing and it's
yeah,
one of the few things that actually cash flows
yeah. There's an
right now.
incredible need for it, but one of the things that got very frustrating is like Fort Worth, for example, the way they are really trying to crack down on the co-living and zoning issues and all these things. And we had a handful in Fort Worth.
Uh-huh.
It's just it gets to the point, at least for me, it got to the point where it was like, this
More
isn't.
hassle than it's
Yeah,
worth. So did you sell them?
yeah, most of them.
And out of curiosity, because with co-living guys, we put up some walls and such to make extra rooms. You have two choices when you're going to sell them. You can reconvert them into a regular single family home or whatever it was to begin with,
Mhm.
or you can seek out another co-living owner. What did you do?
A little bit of both. A little bit of both. Part of the problem with converting something is, like you said, in certain scenarios, you either have to convert it back, and that's obviously extra time and cost. Or with the case for Fort Worth, trying to find, if you are going to sell it to another investor and they also want to do a pad split, and they know that you're having all these issues with the city, you kind of lose that whole pool of buyers. And so then it's, well, how do we get around it? We need to find someone who operates sober living houses or something that has a
Use?
different use, but falls within the city rules.
Got it.
But that buyer pool is so much smaller. And so a lot of them took just an incredible amount of time to find the right situation. There's a solution to every problem, but sometimes those solutions can take quite a while.
Right. Right. That's interesting. So, sober living and maybe, I don't know, did you look at medical, like
Yes, it's
assisted living, that sort of
assisted
thing?
living, sober living, veteran housing has a little bit of different rules. The thing with the co-living is, what the book says is that you can't have more than 5 unrelated people living in one house, but that rule does not exist when it comes to co-living and things. I mean, sober living and things like that. So,
Right. Because they're protected groups.
mm,
Interesting. So do you have any co-living now?
nope. I've been selling everything in the portfolio except for the properties that are here locally to me here in North Carolina.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
Okay. So let's move forward and talk about that transition and why. Because when you have 13 or 14 properties, and that was just on the co-living, your portfolio must have had some value. You had money coming in from it.
Yeah, this is where we start getting into disaster day, as I like to call it. Yeah, D-Day. I don't know if you want me to get into that now or
Yeah, it makes sense. I think time-wise, we're kind of at that spot. Things were humming along. Had you already started selling the co-living yet?
no, no.
Okay.
Like you said, things are humming along. Everything is going great. I had done some, like I had mentioned before, I had some credit sponsor deals that I did individually outside of the team, and one of those was with a person that there were 5 different deals and all higher dollar, luxury, small multifamily type stuff, to the tune of $80,000 a month in just the debt service payments. Yeah,
Wait, $80,000 in debt service. So what was the value of them?
probably 10 million or so. I have to go back and
Wow. So you got into a partnership with one person on all of those?
yep, and things were going great. And then one morning, I don't want to get too much into the weeds, but basically wake up one morning to an empty bank account, couple $1 million gone, partner
Okay.
gone.
Okay. I know we don't want to get into the weeds, but I have to express. You must have trusted this person.
Yeah, it was a long
And
game.
how long did you know him before it I'm saying him. My son would be going, "Wrong pronouns, you have to use their or them," but I'm assuming it's a guy. If it was a girl, I'd be smacking her. But anyways, so if how long had you known this person and you did trust them?
Yep, in retrospect, it's easy to see red flags, but at the time, it was about 6 months or so before we ever closed the first deal, and then another 6 months or so before D-Day. So,
About a year?
about a year. It was a well thought out, well planned out, you got me. So, yeah.
Wow. So this
Um,
was engineered.
oh, yeah, yeah, for sure. And
Did you
and
know him before that 6 months at all?
no. Right.
Guys,
So,
I'm
there
sorry. I just have to say, be careful. You can be targeted. You can be targeted. Obviously, Jake was targeted. Why? Maybe because he is kind. and he is giving, and he was a leader in our communities, so that made him even more open and helpful. But even if you're like me, an old hag, and you're not so whatever you want to call it, everybody can be targeted.
Hmm.
And that's a pretty real part of real estate investing, is that when you're talking about assets that have value and money, you're going to have crooks that go running.
Yeah.
So you feel this person played you from the very beginning now that you look back.
Oh yeah, absolutely, for sure.
Well, how was he able to do that? You were JVing, but did you guys were on the same account? Because you said you woke up and your money was gone. What
Yeah,
the
it's such a crazy story, and it would take a very long time to tell. But there was 11 that we found by the time I decided I'm done chasing this guy and it's time to move on to the next thing. But there was 11 of the same entity name in 11 different states. There was a lot of
you mean
smoke.
he had taken your JV and he'd multiplied it?
Yeah, there was a lot of smoke and mirrors that went into it, and a lot of people were able to be tricked by it, because this takes not just me getting fooled, but
Yeah, you're smart. It's
I
not
mean
like
all
you're
sorts of. Yeah, yeah.
but I don't understand. You mean that I just wanna know this. Did he take one name, one company name, the one that you guys JV'd on, and multiply it throughout?
Yeah, and then also other ones with very similar names, but just minor
Changes?
changes here and there. Yep.
And they
So
were all you didn't even know about them. They were all on the
right,
in his name,
right, correct.
but you had one joint with him.
Well, it was just me on the entity, but he has, you could take this page from this operating,
I see.
all these different things. Yeah, so it gets way, way more complicated. Like it was like living in a movie or some sort of HBO, Netflix type of series for a couple years. But now,
How
I
did it
mean,
get in your bank account, though? Just tell me that. Did you give him signature, right?
no, and I mentioned this a little bit in the video I made a few weeks ago. Like I just became I was too trusting and too comfortable. And so when it was like, oh, hey, we need X, Y, and Z for this, I would just, send it to him, or, hey, yeah, this is the password for things like that. I just got too comfortable.
All right. I know that.
Yep.
I just finished going through that a little bit myself. It wasn't a case of that kind of fraud, but if trust is broken, trust is broken.
For sure.
And I realized, oh, wait, I've got to change all my passwords. And even so, this person was able to open my Go High Level account again, things like that, which, he shouldn't have been able to, but he did.
Right.
And in part, my contribution to that was that I was extremely trusting. I brought money to the table. I put this person through training.
Hmm.
So I was putting into this person instead of myself. And yeah, passwords. Yeah.
Hmm.
You must have been absolutely shocked. Because
Yeah.
I've been shocked ever since I saw your video and realized that's where Jake has been. Who's the mother that,
Yeah.
like how, and we're not going to spend more time on it, but that that person I hope that that person does not die an easy death. I don't want him to just walk in front of a train or a bus. I would like him to die a very, very painful, long, gruesome death.
Well, thank you, Effie.
Isn't that strange? I've got to say that it comes directly from my Greek heritage.
That's what I love about you. You just say what you're feeling. I love it.
Well, my parents always taught me that if someone takes out an eye, you have to take out both their eyes and one of their family members' eyes. And I
Well,
was like,
there you go.
what? You know, I
Yeah.
I haven't really fully bought into it, but down core, when I
Hmm.
feel like I would like to kill them with my own hands sort of thing, I back up half a step and I wish them the worst in the world.
There you go.
And I truly hope that that person gets their upcomings because, they're the kind of one person like that
Yeah.
can not only hurt you personally, which is horrible to think because you're so giving, but so many others. It has scared the bejeebies out of me.
Yeah.
A couple of my partners don't know this, but I'm going to be changing a few things on the bank accounts. even though I love them and I trust them because I'm like, whoa,
Yeah,
that this can happen.
you just never know. It could happen. Yeah. And it's like once you let your guard down is when it happens. So, it's not like I didn't know better. I'm out there teaching people how to do things safely and stuff. And it's just, I didn't
I know.
follow, I broke my own rules.
Yep.
But the
How did you get through the shock? And how did you get to the point of moving forward? How
it
long did it take? What did you do to get there?
it took so long because part of it's not like I was able to just bury my head in the sand and forget about it. The domino effect from having all of that money sitting in the account. So you wake up, the money's gone. It's like, okay, well now I still need to make these mortgage payments.
Right? Because you had said 80,000 in debt service.
Right, 80,000 in debt service. And so instead of immediately being like, "Oh, okay, I need to find someone who can help me," I was like, "It's going to be fine. I'll just sell these assets. It might take a few months. I have still obviously personal money and it'll be cool, right? Like I won't make as much money, but I'll be able to get rid of them." Well, that did not happen.
Why?
As the story unravels, especially with these 5 properties in particular, they were, and this is what I hate about doing things remotely now too, unless you really have the proper processes in place, which I now do. But at the time, the properties had been super misrepresented, and even lenders will make mistakes and not do their proper due diligence. I'm on paper, it's like, oh man, there's 5 million in equity in these properties, no problem. I'll just, like I said, sell them and move on. Well, it turns out this one, the roof was destroyed in a hurricane. No one ever cared to tell me. Um, all these different things. Each of the properties had fake leases were supplied or
Oh my God. Okay. Okay.
bank accounts to show liquidity were,
Fraud.
yeah, edited and changed and all sorts of stuff. And
Okay. So it's time for the
yeah. So not like I said before, not only was I fooled, but like everyone sort of was, there's a lot of blame. Starts with me, but a lot of people fell for things or missed things along the way. But to get back to your question, how long it took to recover and all of that stuff, incredibly long. So this all started to happen mid 2023. So here we are now at the end, getting towards the end of 2025. So I would say about a year and a half it took me finally to get back to the point where it was like, all right, it's time for me to move on to the next thing instead of like wallowing in this.
well, I'm sure that once you saw that, with the properties not being what they are and the misrepresentation, I'm sure that you must have had to go exploring and take some time to get to the bare facts. Just, like where is everything?
Yeah, there was the immediate shock, but like I said, there was still that feeling of it's going to be okay because I can just sell all of these things and move on. Well, like I just said, that didn't happen. I was using my own savings and stuff to cover the 80K debt service. Plus, like, there was other projects that were in mid project that weren't cash flowing yet or vacant and all these other things. So snowball effect. I think my portfolio went from low 50s in properties down to, I think I have 17 left, 12 of which I'm trying to sell. So a whole bunch of foreclosures. Yeah, you name it. I mean, I signed properties over to lenders, deeds and lieu, all sorts of things, credit destroyed, lawsuits from credit card companies, mortgage companies. Luckily, no PMLs. Like I was hopefully, I was the only. There's still one more person. Oregon. I need to sell some properties in Tulsa, and she'll have her money back. And at that point, I could say that I was the only casualty in all of it. Like I didn't. Nobody else was hurt by anything except for me. So I
Jake,
think that's the thing I'm most proud of.
yes, that is monumental. It's monumental because it's not the character of an ordinary individual. I
Yeah.
spoke with a lender who had caused 20 people to lose major money because of what this lender had done. And they honestly, I had not seen this before, but now I understand the thought process. They spent so much time in the conversation with me. We were talking for almost 4 hours to explain how it was not their fault. It was, another person's fault. And therefore, these people were all wrong to come after her. 12 of those people were going to sue them. So that person got so upset that they decided that if they can help it, those 12 people won't see a penny. I said, "What?" "Well, no, I'm only gonna, fight for the 8 people." I was like, "What?
Yeah.
Lend your money? You have to make them all whole." "Not if they don't care about me." I was like, "A bank would not be saying that to you."
Yeah.
That thought process is what allows people to walk away and not give a damn.
Yeah.
Whereas what you're saying in pushing it through until everyone has been made whole.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because even my attorney,
borrowing money scares me, scares the hell out of me because I'd be so sick if I couldn't pay it back.
yeah,
But kudos to you, Jake.
thank you.
Kudos because even though it was really hard and horrible and took a year and a half, that's how I would want to act. Not like this person who thought that they were doing right
Yeah.
because only to the people who were kind to her
Yeah.
when, you know, those everybody had been stiff.
There's people out. I mean, everybody is. Even my legal team was like, why don't you just file bankruptcy, or do this restructure, and then you actually will be sitting on millions of dollars in equity. And I was like, because if I do that, all of my PMLs lose their money. Like, that's not going to happen. So yeah, I could have done that from day one. I could have filed bankruptcy. I could have screwed over everybody else and made sure that I still had millions of dollars. But I just couldn't. I can't. How
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
because you wouldn't be
understand
able to sleep at night.
what makes me any better than the person that did that to me. Then if I go and
Right.
you know
Right.
what I mean? So
Right. I agree. I agree.
yeah, it was. I think I'm definitely downplaying the difficulty of,
I
and
know
this.
you are. I know you are because it's such a sensitive thing, and I
Yeah,
get
there's
it.
therapy involved. There's anxiety medication. There's all sorts of things that I've been through at this point. But I think the end result was so incredible. Like, what I know now, the knowledge that I can share, the amount of money I've saved other people from making the mistakes, and really I got back to what I love, which is coaching and consulting and strategizing and helping, and not so much buy real estate, buy real estate, buy real estate. Like, I am so much more controlled and decisive and careful. And like, every entrepreneur that I know who's uber successful, even if you look at somebody like Pace, they have their same D-Day story. They have their story about, oh, I lost it all, and now I rebuilt it times 100. And
Yeah. I
that's where I am
understand
now.
what
I'm
you're
back on
saying,
that.
and that I'm sure helps to keep you going, but it doesn't make the pain any less.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm glad that you went and got help because, yeah, it's extremely admirable that you're seeing it through to rectify for everyone. And definitely the hard road in that year and a half. When were you able to? How much time had passed before you were able to say, "Okay, I want to look forward. What do I see in my future?" Because you're in a great place now, but we haven't talked about that yet.
Right.
So, how long did it take before you were like, "I'm gonna look forward. I know all I can see is darkness now, but I'm gonna create a future
Yeah.
and start going to that."
Yeah. So I forced myself to go to Squat Up this year. So I guess, when was that this year? March or something like that?
Yes. Yes.
March or April. That being around my closest friends from the community, and all of the people in my private mentorship that I have on the side and stuff. That I felt like I got my mojo back when I left there, and I left there deciding like, okay, I'm ready to start the next thing. And the thing about business is once you know the roadmap, you can do it over and over and over again. So like though that happened, we're about to get into the new stuff that I'm doing, but it's already on the same trajectory. And if this fails, I feel like I could start another business literally in any niche, selling anything and do the same thing again. It's just like once you know the process, it's just so repeatable.
That's true. And the other part of that is knowing thyself.
Hmm.
When you get knocked down and you get beat up really badly, how you get up,
Hmm.
not just do you get up, but how do you get up? And what are you feeling about yourself? And how do you treat yourself and take those steps forward?
Yeah,
Means a lot.
for sure. You really, this sounds so cliche, but you really need to have that motivating factor of why you're doing something. Otherwise, if you find yourself in that situation, you're just going to give up. Like for me, I could not let my kids see me fail like that and just take it just take it, you know?
Good.
And so,
Good. I'm glad.
so I'm going to build something. I told them I'm going to get it back to my 3-year-old doesn't understand so much, but my son is 9. Like he gets what's going on for the most part. And so I told him, I was like, just wait till you see where we are in a year. Like it's going to blow your mind.
That's great. That's fantastic. I'm glad they're there for you. For those of you who don't have children or maybe don't have anyone, I'm not, I hope that at least you can find some solace in, you know, the greater being. I was at a point, Jake, where I was so, so low that I actually spent, I don't know, it felt like years, but it was about 4 hours trying to commit suicide when I was 19. Seriously, seriously wanting to die and trying to kill myself. And I could not. I could not do it. I didn't have anyone. So that's why I say it's great that you've got the kids. But for those of you who don't have anyone, happened with me is that I realized um I wasn't super religious per se. I felt I had been abandoned per se, but I felt like my life was not mine to take and that I had a responsibility to my life that I hated because I wanted to end it, that was excruciatingly painful, but that I just couldn't take. I couldn't take my own life. So then I had only one choice, and that was to look up from, what I'd consider like the bottom of a well, deep, 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 deep well, and realize I got to climb out.
Hmm.
And by the time that I did get to the top, of course, I needed therapy for a long time, for sure. But I also knew that if life hurt me again, which it has,
Hmm.
I would not be looking inwardly to hurt. I'd be looking outward, like that's why I say, tell me who it is. I mean, it's not a good thing to want to hurt someone, but I got past allowing the hate and weight of the world to affect me in a way ever again.
Right.
And I did go through some pretty bad things after that. But I learned that about myself. And
Right.
I think that when you go through something like this, you do learn. And for anyone who's going through anything hard like this, I hope that you too learn how special you are and how important your life is. And I don't often give myself kudos, but I know I have helped a lot of people.
Yeah.
And those people would not have been I wouldn't have been able to do that if I had just given in to weakness. So it's fantastic. Children are awesome. Once you have kids, man, you're in a different plane. You are a superpower.
Yeah.
Also grandbabies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because now the grandbabies are doing that to me,
Right.
meaning that they're inspiring me to keep
Yeah.
going. Um, so when you came out of Squad Up and you were like, yeah, I'm going to make this happen, just watch. How did you decide what it would be?
So I knew that I wanted to get back to something that I loved, right? Like one of the questions I had to ask myself is like, I am at my best when, right? Like blank. And those things are strategizing, coaching, like consulting, helping other people, like I said. But one of the things people always told me, I think Pace even told this to me once, is that like, dude, you're running your business like a charity, like you're giving too much, or but it's funny how mindset, I mean, that's a whole, I could talk about mindset all day long. But anyway, so I already have this network, this community. And so I wanted to still operate inside of the same space, but not directly in the real estate myself.
Okay. So you were backing away from co-living. You didn't want to do any more co-living and you weren't going to be doing any more sponsorship. So you wanted to still be within the community, the people of the community.
Yeah.
And okay, that would be very helpful to know just that. And you are very, very good at what you just said about. Absolutely.
Thank you.
And how did you take that strength and decide that you're going to give it direction in this way?
Yeah. So like one of the things, like I just said with the mindset, I have always been, and I think that to be successful, everyone needs a little piece of this, is just like making a decision and going for it. And you're not knowing what's going to happen. Like, to me, the odds, if someone, you ask somebody, what are the odds of winning the lottery? They're going to be like 1 in, 3 trillion, whatever.
Yeah.
The odds of getting struck by lightning, blah, blah. It's the same. To me, the odds are 50-50. You're either going to win the lot. If you buy a lottery ticket, you're either going to win the lottery or you're not. It's the same odds as, am I going to eat dinner tonight? I either will or I won't. Everything is 50-50. And so when you think of it that way, it makes it, at least for me, it makes it easier for me to make those leaps. There's only two, there's only two outcomes. I'm going to fail or I'm not. But because I have the roadmap and the vision and the community, because that's such an important piece, like I know that I'm not. So I just, like I said before, I'll keep doing it, and I'll keep helping people do it.
So proud of you. I'm
Thank you.
so proud of you. All right. So talk to us, bro, because I know you've pretty much launched Visionary. I love
Thank you. Yes, AI. So yeah, I actually, like everything else I do, I went like way overboard from what my original idea was. And I have now created almost like an entire ecosystem for entrepreneurs to be able to do anything. So first, I want to start with the credit sponsor thing, because even though I went that year and a half not posting on social media, not talking about it, I still get hundreds of messages a month about, can you teach me how to sponsor, or can you sponsor for me? So I finally
interesting.
I finally built the credit sponsor course that everyone's been asking me for, and I'm going to release that. But then I also, like creativelisting.io, Effie, people
Yes, of
keep
course.
making, I'm making a marketplace for credit sponsorship, to where you can create a profile if you need sponsors for your opportunities, or you can create a profile as a sponsor looking for opportunities.
Very nice. So just like creative listings.
Yeah, exactly. But for
By the way, my partner in Sunrise Capital Partners, we're doing lending together, is Raz. And
nice.
Raz is building the creative listing one. So I know about that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So you're going to do the same thing for credit sponsoring.
Good sponsorship. Yeah. And
Nice.
around this time too, I became very, very, very good friends with my now lead developer. A ton of experience, because one of the things people keep asking me is like, well, how'd you go from real estate expert to AI expert in 6 months, or a year, or whatever it's been? And I told them I haven't, but I brought in the people who do. So my lead developer has multiple exits under his belt from the AI space of over $250 million each.
What does that mean? Explain a bit more.
So he has multiple times founded a company, scaled it, and then sold it to private equity or larger firms. Have you ever heard of the dating app back in the day, Zeus? I
Yeah,
know, probably, yeah. Well,
but I never used it.
that was the first one that he ever built, and ended up, he hates when I talk about this. He likes to stay low key, but ended up selling it for 258 million.
Really?
Yeah. he was part of the group that he was the developer for the group that bought like Toys R Us and all Pier 1
Wow.
Radio Shack when they were
Wow.
going out, bought them, turned them into e-commerce stores, and then
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's fantastic.
yeah, he's a really brilliant guy, been in the space for a long time, and he has an incredible team under him. So I'm not the expert, but I sure do have the experts
How did you
alongside.
meet him, and what's the relationship between I assume this was your company. It is your company,
It
right?
is my company, yep.
So
I don't have any
explain how
partners.
you met him and what the relationship is.
We met at a mastermind and hit it off and started becoming friends. And then he invited me to Puerto Rico. And I was like, bro, I can't afford to go to Puerto Rico right now. Like, I just told you my whole life story or whatever. He's like, no, I got it, man. Don't worry about it. So I got to Puerto Rico, and that ended up being another mastermind, but like I didn't even know what I was going. I thought I was just going there to like meet him, talk about next steps to create Bizzionary, all these things. It ended up being like a 25-person like private mastermind. I'm the
Wow.
only person in the room that doesn't have a net worth of 8 figures at this point. So I get up there though, and I tell him my story. I don't leave anything out. You know me, I'm an open book, right? So
Yep.
I share my story, everything I just shared with you and the company that this new AI company that I'm building, and people freaking love it. They're like, there are people in this room who are NASA, up there at NASA, Apple, all these things. And I'm over here like, yeah, I scaled this real estate company to $15 million in a year once. And then I got tricked and lost it all. And here I am doing the next thing. And people just seem to connect with that. And what happened was I have all these people now coming up to me outside of the real estate space, like, I've always wanted to get into real estate, but I don't know how, but something in my gut tells me you're the right person that I need to be working with. Or, hey, last year I paid $2.5 million in taxes. How do I get rid of that? And so what actually ended up being a cool unintended outcome of all of this is that I brought all of these opportunities into my real estate network from people outside of real estate, and it's been a really nice marriage so far.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to hear you saying, I don't know why they would be interested in me. I was just going to tell them my story. It all has to do with what you're really, really good at, and the truth and personality of who you are. Um, I think it definitely comes through. I
Yeah.
think it definitely comes through in a very strong way. And you're a smart cookie, and it's heartbreaking, and you can imagine, "Oh my god, this guy went through that and he's getting up?" Yeah, I'd be like, "I don't have the millions they do, but I do have, like, this small amount. Hey, can I give it to you?"
Yeah. So that's exactly what ended up happening. I was able to make this a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be, and I've been able to scale it quicker because all of these people just wanted to help and be part of it and all these things. Right? So now I have this crazy development team behind me, and I have like a support staff and onboarding staff, people in my community that came over to my community from Gator Elite. They're helping in all of their expertises, whether it's tech sales or, I mean, the support's just been unbelievable.
I'm so happy for you, Jake.
Thank you.
I'm very, very happy for you and for the community because, when you were MIA, I was like, "Where's Jake? What's going on?" And I'm so glad that you're back.
Thank you.
You're back better than ever.
Thank you. Thank you.
Better than ever and wiser and stronger, and you've got all these other people behind you outside of our community, and I love our community,
Hmm.
but, let's face it, fresh blood is even it's a different thing, and
Yeah.
it's often very good.
Yeah.
How talk a little bit about the team and the support, like,
Yeah.
how large are you? And now please describe your service.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'll get into the ecosystem. It's just, I get excited about it, and then I
I
get all.
don't be sorry, I'm so, so happy.
I appreciate it. I'll keep it high level too, so that it doesn't get confusing. So on the AI side, because that's what it started off as is just an AI company. I was building things for clients, simple things like websites and chatbots and stuff like that. And then, my gosh, you edit these, right? Because I totally just lost my train of thought.
Oh, that's
Okay.
okay.
So,
If you want me to edit it, I will, but I'm just kinda curious to see, you met you and this key player,
Right.
met at a mastermind. You
Yes.
you went to Puerto Rico. You met other dudes that were
Yeah.
like, "Hey, thank God you brought him."
I remember.
And now I'm just kind of wondering, what's
Yeah.
the team look like?
Right.
Talk about
Yeah.
development team, support staff. Talk about what you're
Right.
offering.
Yeah. So on the platform side, I was using all of these different tools, had like 20 different subscriptions at like $20 a month for all these different things. And my
Oh,
team created
tell me
video.
about it.
So it started off as, hey, I'm just going to have a platform. It's going to be a suite of all the tools under one roof. So it's a lot easier. And that's all it was going to be.
Hey, that's value in itself.
For sure.
I'm still chasing subscriptions to see which ones have I got, which ones don't. I gotta
Yeah.
stop this, gotta stop that.
Yep. So the platform is exactly that. It has all of the tools that you could possibly need in one subscription under one roof. It even has, I don't know if you're familiar with like Lovable. A lot of people seem to like Lovable right now, but basically you can build custom softwares, apps, landing pages just using prompts, just by prompting.
Okay, so Lovable is a form of chat, GPT,
No, it's
or
like
Gemini, or one of those?
no, it's a software builder, but instead of needing to know how to code, you can just tell it what you are trying to build.
Okay.
So it makes it incredibly easy for even for someone who's never used AI before.
Poppy, I don't know if you know Poppy, but Poppy combines, ChatGPT and Gemini and a whole bunch of other things, and brings in the internet and does a whole bunch of
Yeah.
analyticals for you, and
Yeah.
creates
Yeah.
to a certain degree.
Yeah. Well, the software, because it's custom, it goes even a step further than that. It has the AEO built into it.
Wait, what's AEO?
So like answer engine optimization, you know how when you
Oh,
Google
yes.
now,
Yes, yes.
so if you have just a normal website that you built on a go high level funnel for, let's say, that's all fine and dandy, but you still really need to be driving people to that page. Whereas if you build it on our software, that AEO optimization is already built into it. So it's organically moving your company up to the top of the searches.
Nice.
So the first client that we ever installed the AI website for, instead of just the normal, website that people are using, they increased their website visits by 4,000% in that first month.
Oh, is
And the
that
reason,
all?
yeah, I know, right? Well, the reason being is the way, so AI is going in there when you're searching something on Google or chat or whatever it is. It has to go in there, read the website, extract the information, summarize it, and give it to you. And it can do all of that in milliseconds on an AEO powered website, where it might take a few seconds on a normal website. And you might think, well, whatever, a few seconds, but
No, it's important.
it likes that. It's going to, so what happens is it organically starts recommending your site over everybody else's because it could read it so much faster and understand it so much easier. And so it just has this magnifying effect, especially because nobody's on this yet. It does the same thing with the other tools when you're creating something, whether it's a marketing, whatever it is, it's going, it knows what is working right now in that industry, in the advertisement space.
Right.
These are the specific hooks or whatever that are working. And so it optimizes it to that automatically without you having to do the research of what's like a good, what works for this. So that's really the power in the software. The platform is the
Nice.
DIY side, right? You learn the tools, you figure them out, you do it yourself. On the consulting side, my team has been building so many cool projects for people, whether it's like an app idea that they've had for 10 years and they finally decided I'm going to have it built, or, hey, we run a wholesale operation, but we want to even optimize our systems and processes that we have in place now. We want our website to be AI powered. We want an intelligent chatbot. I want you to clone my voice. I just
Wow.
finished up a clone for Rhea Campbell. Like, you know how Pace has Pace GPT? I built one for Rhea. We're deciding on when it's going to get unveiled and how, but it is
Yes, it was next to me while we were talking, and I was like, "Good thing I have it turned off."
Wheeler. Ask her how she likes her clone.
Well, I'm sure it's awesome. I'm sure it's
It's so
awesome.
cool.
Rhea demands the best.
Oh yeah,
It's just,
she's
and I'm
amazing.
not answering anybody when I'm talking to you. I just happened to look and I saw Rhea.
Thank you. No, she's amazing.
Yes, she is another wonderful asset in our community.
Absolutely.
So you not only the website, but also the voice and the bots.
Anything that you could think of that you want automated or done for your business, we can build it.
And you're talking about now, Rhea does land,
Hmm.
RV parks,
Hmm.
some lending.
Hmm.
You mentioned wholesaling.
Hmm.
So what other aspects of real estate? That's a lot right there. But is it
On the
like any?
platform, we have real estate specific apps that we're building and adding to the platform all the time. So, for example, we have one called Permit Pulse, and it's been helping
Permit pulls?
Permit Pulse. It's been helping a lot of our like multifamily and commercial investors with their underwriting. You could put in an address or a zip code or a city, and it will show you within whatever time frame you select all of the permits that have been pulled, accepted, rejected, what they're for, why. It gives you a heat
Seriously?
Yeah, it gives you a heat map of what's going on in that area. It would give you suggestions of even down to like specific blocks that you should be looking for investments in based on your exit strategies and I mean, so many cool things that we're doing.
Wait. Sorry. You just touched a nerve. So permit pulse. And is it part of the package or
It's a
is this a la carte or how are you doing it?
No, it's just every app that we build is just going to be available to the users of Bizzionary. There's the only difference in the pricing for this stuff is some of the apps are usage based, meaning you have a certain amount of credits and a message or a prompt is a certain amount of credits based on complexity and things like that. It's really easy to understand though.
So is it okay? So you don't have, do you have tiers?
Yeah, but like I said, it's just usage, basically the amount of credits that you start with every
Okay.
month.
Where would you use credits? Talk about that so we can understand a little bit for those who aren't yet into AI.
Just a handful of the more sophisticated video generation and image type of tools, or that software builder that uses prompts to build things, stuff like that.
Okay. Okay. So then so that's dependent on what you use. It's almost like yeah, I get it. I know what you're talking about. So what is the basic? Because you were in beta for a little while and now it's September.
Well,
Now
like I
you're
said,
launching.
I built a whole ecosystem. So there's the platform that I just mentioned, and there's going to be the credit partner marketplace that I mentioned. There's my community that's called the Zone of Genius, which is based off of a book called The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks,
Nice.
which I and I'm not one to ever recommend books or say that a book changed my life or something. I've gotten plenty of great advice from books. This book pulled me out of the hell that I was in and got me back on the right track. So we talk about a lot of things in the community. It's AI centric, it's mindset centric, it's founder centric, entrepreneur, elite level networking, the course library. It's basically like the sub two of the AI and entrepreneur space in general, instead of specifically real estate.
Nice. So is the community, the Zone of Genius, is a standalone?
It is a standalone. Yes.
Okay. And the credit sponsoring course is a standalone. And then the platform for the real estate
Yep.
is
I made
standalone.
them all standalone so that to eliminate the need for tiers, right? People could create their own packages if they want. If you only want the platform, you already have a CRM, cool. If you already have a CRM, like you can mix and match. Because I also provide a CRM which is built around Go High Level, but with my developers' awesome touches on it and things added to it. So plus the 24/7 live support, a personalized onboarding team when you join. So like I've just taken away all of the roadblocks for people to not succeed, even if they don't have a lot of cash right now.
About what these kind of standalones cost to get in
Mhm.
and where people can go to see it. Talk to me about that
Yeah.
part.
So the website is Bizzionary.ai, Bizzionary.ai. The pricing for the platform, I think there's three tiers, one at 49, one at 99, and one at 199, I believe. Then
For
there's
what?
like so that's 49, I think you start with 100. 100 credits.
Okay, and
Well,
that's on the platform, right?
yeah, on the platform.
Okay. So the platform allows you to use as many credits as you wish. It can be as reasonable as approximately $50 a month to 100 to 200.
190.
Yep. For the whole kit caboodle for the platform. The platform. So if you had a platform that was also going to include a CRM, because let's say you have Go High Level, that's $100 a month. If you knocked that out and came to your platform, what would it be with the CRM?
Yep. So I have the CRM is 149 a month, which I know is more than Go High Level, but we it has every single thing that Go High Level has on their 297 a month plan.
Oh, I see.
Plus, our AI voice agents just blow Go High Level out of the water. We also have outbound capabilities. So I think right now Go High Level still only has the inbound. We have inbound and outbound, the 24/7 support, the onboarding staff.
Nice. I like the audio. That's great.
Thank you.
Very
And
nice.
then there's the 190. So 149 is the tier without the outbound call center essentially, and then 199 with it. And then we have the what I call the ecosystem, which where you get the highest level of the platform and the highest level of the CRM for at 349 a month, I think it is.
Okay, you know what? If you know you're paying 349, that's all inclusive. That's not bad
Yeah.
because I know I was paying a whole lot more on
Yeah.
when I just
I
had.
mean, I was paying 297 a month for Go High Level just myself before to have that support whenever I needed it 24/7.
Yep. Yep.
And so now 349 for all of that plus the platform. Yeah, I think it's
Yeah, I think it's great that you offer it as low as 49 for people that are just starting out, but I think that for people who are going and are doing and are looking to stay ahead and get ahead,
yeah,
349 is very reasonable.
yeah. I also have a badass affiliate program that I mean, I have some people making more money off their affiliate links right now than I am with all the overhead that I have, you know what I mean?
Well, how
So
does
that's
the affiliate links work?
um so for normal affiliate, like the normal public, it's 10% of everything uncapped forever. So if you are someone who refers a $50,000 build to me, you would make $10,000.
Wow.
And then also for the monthly fees also. And
Wow.
so like that's what I'm saying. There are people who have like almost abandoned everything they're doing and their focus is just pushing their affiliate link because it's gonna like the snowball effect. There's
Hey,
no cap.
folks, it's going to be an affiliate link down.
I'm gonna get you all this. Yeah, everyone could go get their own affiliate link, but yeah, there's no cap to how much you can make, and it always snowballs for as long as they're customers. So if you get,
Nice.
and I have paid people $5,000+
Wow.
just upfront as their affiliate cost, and then they're also capturing $200 to $400 a month.
Sheesh.
Recurring. So
Okay.
one of my biggest goals for this was to not only get myself back on track, but I really, like I said, I want to create an ecosystem where everybody has access. I'm creating courses on how to do what I'm doing, how to sell AI to other businesses, how to start your own SaaS agency, how to, I mean, we have coaches in our community that have all of their own expertise, managing nonprofits, underwriting, you name it.
I
So
do really like the community concept, and I want to talk about that. But let's go to the credit sponsoring course first, because you listed them in that way. So talk to me about the credit sponsoring course. What are we looking at there, and is it all going to be through Visionary?
no, the sponsor course is people will be able to just purchase it one time. I think it's $49 if they want.
Where?
It's not live yet, but I'll send you the link when it goes live.
Okay. Okay. So, guys, besides looking for my affiliate link, which
About
I
a,
will.
about a week from now. About a week from now.
Okay, that's really good. I'm so glad you're doing that.
Thank you.
And then Zone of Genius, the community.
Zone of Genius. Yeah.
I'm almost a little upset that I'm not in that already.
Don't be upset. We're only like 75 75 members strong or so right now. I didn't do any advertising for this. I have barely made any social media posts for it. I really wanted it to grow organically at first, and I wanted to prove the concept first. And I'm in the process, obviously, of collecting a whole bunch of testimonials and things like that, for not only for people that we've already built projects and companies for or automated their existing company, but also for people that I've sponsored in the past or that I've consulted on sponsoring in the past, things like that.
Yep. Yep. How do people get into the zone? Well, no, never mind. You guys don't listen. For me, talk to me about the community, the zone
Yeah.
of genius.
I could send you the link after this too, Effie, but the Zone of Genius is a one time lifetime 497 payment. And I think, that will, just like sub 2, that will increase when we hit maybe 1,000 members or something. I don't really know. But for now, it's one time 497. You're in. There's going to be Zooms, literally like a mini sub 2. They're like
Jake,
Zooms.
that's extremely reasonable.
I know. I'm trying to like. I want when we start growing, I'll rethink of all of that. And like I said, people tell me I run my companies like a charity sometimes, but I really I want to provide the value first, improve myself, and then I'll start. It's a mindset thing too. That never goes away. When I was down at my low point, I was can't wait till I have money again. The second I launch a new company and it's doing great and I'm having success, go back to feeling guilty about being successful while other people are struggling. So it's a constant mental battle. One of the things that I've really learned the most and grown the most in is the mental side of things. And so that's the part that I'm really excited to bring to the table for people. In addition to the AI knowledge and the real estate knowledge and the credit, I have so much knowledge in my head, and I could be support soundboard for people. I know there's a lot of people in the community who have been through some stuff.
Oh my God, let's not even start on that. But what I really like is the fact that, it's a community for all of the aspects. The AI founders, because founders are different than the other people, the entrepreneurial, the networking at a higher level. I'm
It's an
definitely, if you'll
ecosystem.
accept me, I'm in.
Yeah,
I'm in.
100%.
But I will say this, wait till I'm in before you do this. But yes, you're underpricing yourself.
I know.
And here's the thing, from having seen a number of our peers, because we all started at the same time, basically, and I've seen a lot of this already, the going rate tends to be around K. And I have seen people charging as much as K. And I'm like, "Huh?" Okay, so it's okay. The point is, all right, so I'm definitely going to join, but the first thing I'm going to be doing is trying to get on your mindset to get you to be more competitive.
Yeah. Yep. And I think all this too is a blessing in disguise because I'm able now to act as a founder when I need to, act as a friend when I need to. I can just regulate it now as to where before I felt bad asking for, not felt bad, but like you just don't you know how it is. It's that
I do
imposter
because,
syndrome.
you might have noticed and might not. I have not begun a group. I haven't started a mentorship. You know how many people have asked me to?
Mhm.
A lot because of the mindset strength and, the history of where I started and, social media, you name it. I've had a lot of people start asking me, when are you going to start? And I have that problem too, as much as the going rate is 3,000. Hi, kitty. Oh, makes me miss mine. I never restricted Zorro, and he was all over the place, and I
Yeah.
miss it so much. But anyhow, I know the going rate is 3,000. I don't think everyone is worth that much, but that's what they're all charging. I haven't figured it out yet myself. I do think that it's a bit of a mindset. I do want to have a group because I have a group that's always, coming, that's always giving me feedback, asking me for help, and that we support each other, but it's just completely informal. And one day I'm sure I will, but it's going to probably look quite different. I think that I'll be it's okay. Is it a boy or girl?
Girl.
All right.
The other one's around somewhere. I don't know.
Oh, that's awesome. I do think that the thing that I'm almost scolding you for is the thing that I would have a problem with also. And, I'm a kettle calling you black. Okay.
Well, my feelings on it, Effie, are that, like I said, not only I'm okay with having to prove myself first, right? Like that's totally fine. So I'll prove the concept. But the other thing is, I want to reward the first, however many people who are early adapters, sorry, adopters, and who are supporting me and believing in me. And so there should be a reward for that. And so if that's me underpricing myself for a while, then it is what it is. Yeah, I mean, the development team tells me all the time, like, "Oh, cool. So what's this project that we're doing?" And I tell them, like, "All right, what'd you quote them?" "Oh, 12,000." What, dude? What do you? They were like, "Have you ever actually like met with a developer before, or even a freelancer, and asked them what it would cost to build an MVP version of something?" And I was like, "No, I have you. Like, what do I?" He's like, "You just put like that's easily, if they go to a developer, they're gonna get quoted 30, 40,000 dollars." He's like, you need to get better at at charging what you're worth.
Yeah, I hear you.
It's easy for me when if I don't know the person, then yeah, it's easier for me to quote what it's worth. But the problem is when I know somebody, and then it's like I it's hard to ask for what I know it's worth, just because we're homies. But
Yes, yes, I understand. Because I am thinking that the people who I know would be the first ones to come in, I'd probably be like, "Oh, no, you guys are free, like, $1."
yeah, right, exactly.
I do understand, I do understand. It is so exciting. It's very, very exciting. Uh, so visionary.
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 Yeah. That was nothing after the I picked it because obviously it rhymes with visionary, and I'm a visionary through and through. It wasn't until after the fact I was like, man, why did I pick something that has to be hard to pronounce and, like, you know what I mean, spell? I should have picked a different name. But you
Necessarily, I think you just have to include visionary in there, so people know visionary, visionary.
yeah.
I have you let me see. Yes, I have been. I
But
have
you
been.
want to know a secret, Effie? Nobody gives a shit what it's called. Like, names don't matter, colors don't matter, logos don't matter, and
Right.
anyone who tells you that they do is lying. The most important thing, especially now with the way technology is moving, is when you have an idea, getting to market. Getting to market faster is way more important than making sure things are perfect.
That's true. That's true. Absolutely. I mean, that's exactly what Abraham and Pace said to me when they pushed me into doing my first episode. When I was like, "What did you do that for?" I'm just testing the name. And they're like, "What the F he works? Go." I was like, "Ah."
Yeah.
I do. I agree. Getting started is the very, very key thing.
Hmm.
And being around the right people makes a huge difference also. What you're doing with this is very impressive.
Thank you, Effie. I appreciate it.
Very impressive. So, this may sound a little odd to a couple of you, but Jake, will you come back?
I would love to.
Good. I want you back. I want you back in 4 to 6 months when you've kind of opened up the doors for like, 'cause I know they're just opening up. It's the September 1st you opening. So I'd love to see it as you start moving along. I want to follow your journey the whole way. And I'm going
Absolutely.
to anyhow because, I don't know exactly where I'm sending the 497 to, but I'm sending it today.
I'll send you the links for sure. And
That sounds great.
also, I mean, people could go ahead and get their affiliate links whenever if they want to. That's just affiliate.bizzionary.ai. Sign up for the program. You'll have your links, and then you could send them to whoever you want.
Wonderful. Work through me, guys. I'm just kidding.
Everybody work through Effie. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I think I'll have to figure out what I would do with that.
Effie, you know what? I would love to build you a clone like I did for Rhea, just
Yeah?
because you're such a big personality. It would be awesome. I would love to do that for you.
Oh my god. Okay, we'll talk about it. For
Yeah.
sure. For
Yeah.
sure. Look out, Rhea. Here comes Effie's. Anyhow. All right, everyone. At this moment, I'm gonna ask you not to hang up on me, Jake, yet. But
Okay.
we are gonna say goodbye to you. I feel like I could go for at least another hour, but I promised to move on. So I'm going to say I'll see you guys next week. Please do yourselves a big favor. and check out Bizzionary .ai, affiliate or no affiliate, just go there. And if you're may see me, see you on the inside if you join the Zone of Genius, because I will definitely be there as well as a couple of these other things.
Yep. I
Jake,
can't
thank
wait.
you.
Thank you, Effie.
All right, guys, see you next time. Bye.